Hey, what's up everybody? So in my last video, I talked about how I wanted to upload videos more. This channel is going to be used a lot more. I'm going to become a regular YouTuber. And I'm not going to lie, I really did not know what I wanted to do. Coincidentally, the next day, I received a message on Facebook from this teacher's assistant I had back in 5th grade. And I haven't talked to her in probably 10 years, close to 10 years, so it was very random. When I was in 5th grade, and yeah, she was a teacher's assistant, her husband was the drummer for this band called Full Draw. Local alternative rock band, very Pearl Jam meets Creed. She basically pimped the band to all the kids. That's a horrible term. She promoted the band to all the kids, and for me, I was hooked. They were like my first taste to music outside of boy band pop, where we're talking 2000, 2001. And I remember going to the local Harmony House to buy their first album, Changes. It's a great album. If you can find a copy or find any tracks off it, I recommend it. Back to the message, we talked a little bit. I asked her, like, hey, could I get a copy of their second album? They had put a second album out, I think I was like in middle school, around 04, yeah. So 2004, they put out their second album. Little did I know that later that evening, I would actually have a burned copy of their second album, Deep Into the Blue. It's a great album. While I'm not crazy about every single track on it, I still love it. Because even my favorite album of all time, EMS Cha Cha Cha, I don't love every single track on this album either. So basically, I'm going to give a track by track rundown of sorts. The first song on it's called Foul Play, and the second track is called Feelin' Me. Again, very much the same vibe as their first album. Very rocking, very hard, edgy, love it. Third track, very different. I was hooked on this track, and that was all I listened to in my car for 4 days straight. Like, on repeat, over and over. That's what tends to happen. If I really like something, I put it on repeat until I am kind of sick of it. I've overplayed it. After that, it gets into Susie's Lullaby and Deep Into the Blue, the album's title track. Now, this is pretty much where they really put the synthesizers on full blast. Again, still very much rock, guitar, bass, drums, but it's very laid-back tracks, very different to anything that was on the first album. After that is probably my next 3 favorite tracks on the album, Crucified, Rain, No Mercy. Basically meshes the synthesizers with guitar perfectly. It's a perfect combination. I love those tracks. As for the rest of the album, Miracles of Life, Face to Face, Time Purpose, Lifeless, I've been slowly getting into them still, so I actually don't quite have a definite answer about those. I dig them in some way I don't dig them, but that doesn't mean that I don't love this album. You can actually find a copy of this album or find tracks from it. I'd highly recommend you take a listen and judge for yourself. They actually have a MySpace page up still, but there's tracks on it from the second album. I also found there was a couple tracks on YouTube. So if you can find tracks from Full Draw, Deep Into the Blue, highly recommend it. That's all I have to say for today. Bon Lucas, out. Have a good day, everybody.